Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Republicans seeking 1st District seat square off in sometimes tense debate. The Republican candidates in the 1st Congressional District race engaged in a sometimes tense debate Thursday, days before primary voters head to the polls. Some political observers have said the race has featured the most mid-slinging of any New Hampshire race this election cycle. State Senator Andy Sanborn, a Navy veteran, and retired law enforcement officer Eddie Edwards are viewed as the co-front-runners, and they have had traded some nasty attacks over the past few weeks. They were joined on stage by lawyer and consultant Andy Martin, stone craftsman artist Michael Collins, and Jeffrey De Niro, a union tradesman. The dispute between Edwards and Sanborn were highlighted during the debate when both candidates were asked about the attacks. Edwards has called Sanborn morally unfit for office because of alleged inappropriate workplace behavior at the State House. Sanborn has tried to paint Edwards as a career government insider with questionable conversative credentials. Sanborn said he was investigated by the Attorney General's office over what amounted to a joke that he made in his office with his wife and a couple of friends. Sanborn didn't directly address allegations made in the Attorney General's report that a female staffer said she had become used to him making sexual comments and references that rolled off the tip of his tongue so easily. He said no one filed complaints at the time and said that he understands that jokes made in 2013 might not be considered acceptable now. Edwards was asked how he could attack Sanborn on the issue while also saying he fully supports President Donald Trump, who was widely criticized for lewd comments he was recorded saying during a taping of Access Hollywood. Edwards said a better comparison would be between Sanborn and President Bill Clinton. As a follow-up, all the candidates were asked whether they would support the eventual nominee, something Edwards previously has refused to do if the nominee is Sanborn. Once again, he said he couldn't commit to fully supporting him. De Niro and Silas both said they would support the eventual nominee, but Martin said he wasn't so sure, citing hostility. He said the Republican Party has shown him. Martin was asked about some of his past conversational actions, specifically his links to the birther movement, which questioned President Barack Obama's background. He took issue with the idea that he ever questioned where Obama was born. Martin has been widely credited with spending the first rumors online that gained wide attention for asserting that Obama might be Muslim and asserting that was false. Martin later went to Hawaii to file a lawsuit to get Obama's long form birth certificate. That petition was denied, and the White House later distributed a copy of the full birth certificate. Most of the candidates said they were in favor of building Trump's proposed wall along the border with Mexico, even though it's unlikely the president will be able to fulfill his promise of making Mexico pay for it. Edwards said it could be paid for by cutting foreign aid. Sanborn said the cost of building a wall would be recouped in other savings. De Niro said the country would save money by not having to pay what he said were the costs associated with undocumented immigrants. Martin said he's in favor of building the wall, but he said he wouldn't be enough to solve the nation's drug problem. Sells broke from his opponent's views on the wall and immigration by saying that problems with immigration could be resolved in other ways. Sells has also broken from his opponent on whether Trump should be impeached. He was asked why he thought the president should face impeachment. Most of the candidates said they would had some areas of disagreement with Trump. De Niro said he didn't like the praises Trump had for Russian President Vladimir Putin when the two met in Finland. Martin said he personally likes Trump, but wishes he was more truthful and consistent in how he uses Twitter. Sanborn said he thinks Trump is doing a great job, especially on the economy, but he noted that he might not support some of the president's tariffs. The candidates were also asked whether they would vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Sanborn said he would do everything he could to eliminate it and reestablish a free market system of health care. Edwards also said he wants a free market system with some controls, such as coverage and pre-existing conditions. De Niro also said there were things about the Affordable Care Act that he would like to keep, such as ensuring that everyone is covered. Martin said any repeal effort has to be accompanied by a repealment plan. Sales called for something that many Democrats have been pushing for: single-payer health care. The candidates are vying for the Republican nomination to seek the seat being vacated by Democrat U.S. Rep. Carol Shea Porter. The Granite State debate was sponsored by WMUR and the New Hampshire Union Leader and was held at the New Hampshire Institute of Politics at St. Anselm College. And that did it for my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.